first of all, hold on. Let me pause it for a second. There we go. All right. So what I will do is I'll answer those questions either after class and show you those, or I'll answer them through email.
Okay, thank you.
Right. So anybody else had any questions on anything they've been working on this week that they needed some assistance on? Anybody? I see somebody took stuff on distance between 2 points. I see Simone took a couple practice tests.
Yeah.
I see inequality, sign numbers. Anybody been working on that gave them issues this week?
Yeah, I had issues with distance between 2 points.
Okay, so let me open that up first, and I'm gonna show you some. I'm gonna show you a nice little trick. Let me open it up first.
Mr. Tinley?
Yes.
There's this second one. The third one, how would you do this? The second one, and the third one.
What's that? What screen are you seeing?
The question solving.
This one you see on screen?
Yes.
All right, we'll get to that one in a minute. Let me look up distance between 2 points, right? So every once in a while, they'll put a question like this on the GED, okay? And if you got to find the distance between 2 points horizontally or vertically, that's very easy, okay? So someone else also asked, yes, they had problems with that. Okay, good. So I'm gonna show you how to do this problem. It's not even, this is considered a medium problem, okay? So the first thing I want to explain to you is horizontally and vertically, we can find the distance, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So the length horizontally is 4. So now we're going to find the length vertically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, what does that look like? What did I just draw?
A right triangle.
A right triangle. How do you find the missing side of a right triangle?
A squared plus b squared equals c squared.
So that's called Pythagorean Theorem. So what people don't notice is a lot of people don't teach it this way. They give you this crazy formula to find the distance between 2 points. But the easiest way is to just draw that horizontal line, draw your vertical line, you'll see a triangle, a right triangle. So Simone, I'm gonna mute you because I hear some noise in the background. So use Pythagorean Theorem. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now, if you're new tonight, what you know is about a right triangle. What's important is that the side opposite the 90-degree angle is your side C, or your hypotenuse. So in this question, where does it form that 90-degree angle? In that lower right-hand corner. So this is my C. Now, 4 could be A, 6 could be B, 6 could be A. Those are interchangeable, doesn't matter. So we're going to substitute those in. 4 squared plus 6 squared equals C squared. Does anybody know what 4 squared is?
16.
16. How about 6 squared?
36.
36 equals C squared. I'm gonna have to move down here. 16 plus 36 is 52 equals C squared. Am I done now?
No.
No.
No. So how can I get C all by itself? What is the opposite of squaring something?
Square root.
The square root.
Square root. So you take the square root of both sides and you get C is equal to the square root of 52. And this is where your calculator comes in. So I'm gonna show you 2 ways. So if you do it manually, you would have to put the square root of 52 in. But I'm also going to show you how to do it using the calculator. So let me save this, and then I'm gonna move everything over so I can have the calculator in view. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna erase this for a second on this right side. Erase everything on the right side. And then I'm gonna bring the calculator, I'm gonna open up the calculator. And I'm gonna clear everything out. Okay, so all we're gonna do is second, we're gonna hit x squared to get your square root. 52, we're gonna get out of the square root, we're gonna press enter. If you notice, it gave us a radical. Or to change that to a decimal, we just hit the toggle button. which is the double arrows right above enter. So that missing side is 7.2.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's rounded off to the nearest tenth. Now if they ask you the nearest hundredth or the nearest whole number, depends what they ask you. That you got to pay particular attention to that. What they tell you, if they say to the nearest foot or the nearest tenth or the nearest hundredth, that means you have to round off. But for right now, we're gonna round up to the nearest tenth, and your answer is 7.2. I'm gonna give you an easier way to do this problem using the calculator. So if you look at that lesson in the ebook about Pythagorean theorem, I give you 3 ways to do Pythagorean theorem in seconds. I'm gonna show you one of them right now. So I'm gonna clear. So first of all, I'm gonna clear the screen. Let me make sure I get the. It was 4 and 6, right? Yeah, 4 and 6. So let me clear the screen first. Let me maximize the calculator. I'm gonna take a picture, a screenshot. So what you would type if you were doing this at home, right? And then I'm gonna clear the calculator. Watch this. So I told you the legs were 4 and 6, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So if we start with a squared plus b squared equals c squared, right? If I want to solve for c, I would take the square root of both sides. So I would get c is equal to the square root of a squared plus b squared. This is the easiest way to solve Pythagorean theorem if you're looking for the hypotenuse, because you can put this directly into your calculator. Watch this. Square root, we have 4 and 6. So 4 squared plus 6 squared. Get out of my square root, enter, hit the double arrows, done. 15 seconds.
Oh, wow.
15 seconds. So this is why it's very important for you to go through that ebook, understand how to use this calculator, because the medium and difficult problems, no matter of fact, almost all the problems, all the concepts on the GED that you can use the calculator for, I'll show you how to do in less than a minute. So in those difficult problems that you're only spending a minute on now your confidence and your self-esteem and everything else is now improved, and you can not be fearful. The reason why most people pass because they get so anxious, so frustrated, so scared, and their emotions take over. Well, that's why I created the ebook, so those most difficult problems won't give you the difficulty, right? But watch this. I'm going to show you something. So since we're on Pythagorean theorem, right? Say for example, let me clear the calculator. Say for example, they gave us the hypotenuse. I'm just going to make up one and say this was 26 and 10. So now this is my side A, this is my side B, this is my side C. Okay, if you want to know A or B, we're going to subtract from C squared. So to find A or B, what we're going to do is we're going to do the square root of C squared minus B squared. So now, again, it's one step to get that problem. Watch this. So we're going to go second. We're going to go second, square root C squared, which is 26 squared, minus 10 squared. Get out of your square root, press enter, done. So even though Pythagorean theorem is considered a medium difficulty problem, I just showed you, you can almost consider it easy. If you go through that ebook and practice and do enough problems, no matter what they give you, you're going to be able to do. Now, guaranteed you're going to have a Pythagorean theorem problem. Guaranteed. You're going to have a Pythagorean theorem problem. So, for example, you're going to give it. So I heard somebody say, Mr. Tinsley, word problems are right. Word problems scare everybody. First of all, stop saying it. Why? Because your mind is very powerful. If you say I can't do word problems, what's going to happen when they give you word problems? You're not going to be able to do it. So stop saying it. So what you're going to say is, what do I know and how can I figure it out? So watch this. I'm going to show you something. So remember, we just talked about Pythagorean theorem. Remember, make sure now, you want to say that math terminology as you're doing problems. I tell my students in my class, listen, I want you to talk it out. I want you to talk it out. Now on the test, if you're taking it online, I heard that you can't talk while you're taking the test online, but while you're practicing, look at this problem right here. This is a Pythagorean theorem problem. It says, now you can't see it. I'm going to read it out for you. The foundation of a building is in the shape of a rectangle with length of 20 meters and a width of 18. To the nearest meter, what is the distance from the top left corner of the foundation to the bottom right corner. So the first thing you're going to do is understand this word right here. Hold on, let me get I had to let somebody else in. What you should notice right here from the top, actually, let me get a line. From the top to the bottom right. When I draw that line, what did I just create?
A triangle.
A triangle. What do we know about rectangles? If this side is 18, this side is also what?
18.
18. The second thing you need to understand, the side opposite the 90 degree is my hypotenuse. So
Right.
you should now know the square root of a squared plus b squared. If I need to know what the
There you go.
hypotenuse is, I'm already done, because now all I do is grab my calculator. Hold on, grab my calculator. I got to make it a little smaller here. Watch this. Watch how easy this problem becomes. Square root 18 squared plus 20 squared. Get out of your square root, press enter. Now, you don't see radicals as the answers, which you should know if you're practicing with your calculator. To change that to a decimal, hit your toggle button, 26.9. So I'm looking at it, and what does the question say? I don't see 26.9, do I? But it says to the nearest meter. So we're rounding it off to the nearest whole number. So what should be the best answer here?
Should it be
27.
27?
27. There you go. And you're going to have a Pythagorean theorem problem. You're going to have so that's a guaranteed problem. They always put Pythagorean theorem on on it. Now, keywords you want to look for from corner to corner. You want to also
that threw me off. That corner thing threw me off.
So corner to corner, diagonal. For Pythagorean theorem problems, they almost never use the word Pythagorean theorem. What you have to understand is when they tell you diagonal, when they tell you from corner to corner, if you have a rectangle, when you draw that diagonal, it's going to create a right triangle. Got me? Good. All right. So let me maximize the calculator so you can see it. And again, if you don't have a calculator, I would suggest you get one. But one of our classmates gave us a online calculator that you can use, the TI-30XS. I'll make sure I drop that probably every week and to send it to everybody if you don't have it. Okay, so now the other question was on the GED study guide here. It's quadratic equation. That's the one I had on the screen. Let's see. Where were you? That's a system of equations. There we go, right there. Now, if you've been working on quadratic equations, you should already know this is a hard problem. This is considered a difficult problem. This is considered a difficult problem. What I'm telling you is, if they give you the answers, when they tell you x equal -1, x equal 5/4, x equal 4/5, x equal 1, they're giving you the answers. They're giving to you the answers to solve this quadratic equation. Not only is this not difficult, it now becomes an easy problem. Mr. Tinsley, you keep saying easy, easy. I hate math. When I'm having problems, I hate you saying easy. When do math problems become easy? When you practice, when you prepare. So they might not be easy to you now, but what I'm showing you is by using the ebook, practicing on Schoology, that everything that they're going to give you in this exam then becomes much easier. Watch this problem. Now, if I got to factor this is going to take forever. This is a 7 to 10 minute problem. But if you have the multiple choice, watch this. Watch how easy. Mr. Tiz, you keep saying this word easy. You just, you get me on my nerves, keep saying it's easy. Why? Because preparation makes things easier. Just like you started your job. You didn't know everything at your job. But now, through practice and experience, your job is much easier. That's what happens. Watch this. Since I know what an equation is, equation means equal sign. That means for any value that I put for x, must be equal to 0, because it says 4x squared minus x minus 5 equals 0. And it gives me several different answers. So I'm going to start with D. I'm not going to start with the first one because I already know the answer is A. But I'm going to start with the last one. Watch how easy this problem becomes if you know how to use this calculator. So I'm gonna take 1 and I'm gonna store 1 into my calculator. 1 store X. And then I'm gonna plug in my quadratic equation. 4x squared minus x minus 5. If I get 0, 1 is a solution. Did I get 0?
No.
No. So I know 1 is not solution. I don't have to test for the 5/4 because I know it's not D. Well, 1 is also in B. So I know it's not B. So I just eliminated 2 multiple choice in 10 seconds. So now I'm gonna do -1. Again, we're gonna do the same thing. -1 store X, plug in your quadratic equation. 4x squared minus x minus 5. Did I get 0?
Yes.
So now I know -1 is one of the solutions. So,
-1.
but guess what? Both -1 is one of my solutions. But both A and C have -1. So I'm gonna do 4/5. Well, you can put fractions into this calculator. Hit ND, 4/5, get out of your fraction, store X, plug in your quadratic equation. 4x squared minus x minus 5. Did I get 0?
Nope.
No. I know my answer is what?
A.
Hey, I'm done. 45 seconds at the most. 45 seconds at the most. If you understand, listen, and this is why I'm advising you. Once you purchase the ebook, go through it. Take about 2 weeks to really know how to use the calculator. 17 lessons. So even if you did a lesson or 2 a day,
Right.
in 2 weeks, you're done the ebook. Now you're practicing, you're going into Schoology, and now you know how to do those problems much easier. That would be my recommendation. Of course, you don't have to take my recommendation, but that would be my recommendation. Any other problems? So we did distance between 2 points. We did evaluating a quadratic equation, and evaluating an algebraic expression, again, is going to be several different, it's going to be about 2 or 3 different problems. Let me see, hold on. Let me get, what is it? Let me see.
I have a question too.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm having a hard time with the triangles. I know the 3 different types of triangles, and I know one is all the sides are equal. Then 2 of them with the 2 sides legs are equal, and the other one is all different sides of the legs. Okay. But I was having trouble with the ones that was 2 sides was equal to each side, but the problem was like say like 2x plus 4 equal 3x minus 2.
Hold on for 1 second. Let me get to a
Okay.
blank sheet. So you said you have a triangle. What type of triangle is it?
It's a
Isosceles.
yes.
What is an
But 2
isosceles?
of the legs are the same.
So let me make sure I go over. So you can describe a triangle, right, by the angle or by the sides. Okay. So let me first of all, when you have describe a triangle, you can describe it by the angles or the sides, right? So if all of the angles are less than 90, okay, is an acute triangle. All angles, I'm sorry about my handwriting. It's hard to write with this mouse. Less than 90 degrees.
Right.
That's an acute triangle. An
Right.
obtuse triangle is one angle, any angle of that triangle is greater than 90 degrees. You also have what's called a right triangle. You should know that by now. And that's where one angle is equal to 90 degrees. When we talk about the sides or describing a triangle by the sides, the first one is equilateral. All sides equal. What's important about that, if all sides are equal, their angles are also equal.
Mm.
So that means
Mhm.
every angle of an equilateral triangle is 60 degrees. Why?
180
Because the
degrees.
internal angles must be equal to 180.
Mhm.
The second type of, if you're describing by sides, is isosceles. What's important about that is two sides are equal. Now, what's important about isosceles and about two equal sides? They are usually shown as equal by two tick marks like that. That means those two sides are equal. If you have a
Mhm.
triangle where you have this a tick mark and this is two tick marks, what you're telling is these two tick marks are equal. Those sides are equal. But what's important about also about an isosceles triangle is that the angles opposite those sides are also equal. So, for example, say this was 7, this was 7. This angle was 50. They don't tell you what this angle is, but what you should know now, that opposite
Mhm.
sides of those equal sides in the isosceles triangle, that is also 50.
50.
So that makes this 100. So that makes this angle 80.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, the last one, I don't have room, but I'll put it right here. It's under sides, though. It's scalene. Oops, I can't even write. I'm sorry. Scalene. No sides are equal. You will not have a scalene triangle in the GED. What you probably will have is for triangles. What you probably will have is, you got to be familiar with a isosceles triangle and the equilateral triangle.
Mhm.
You got to be familiar with how to solve the area of a triangle, and you must be able to
Mhm.
solve the perimeter of a triangle. Those are the things you need for triangles. Okay. So, for example, say they have an equilateral triangle, isosceles triangle, and they say this is, like you said, 2x plus 3. Right? So you don't know the angle, just give you an expression, 2x plus 3. But they tell you this is 50 or 451. They tell you this is 51. Because you know that opposite sides or opposite angles of those two equal sides are equal, you now know 2x plus 3 is equal to 51. And now you solve this for x. Subtract 3 from both sides. 2x equal 48. Divide both sides by 2. X equal 24. If you plug that 24 in, 2 times 24 plus 3, 48 plus 3 is 51. Look at that. Both of those are 102. That makes this angle 78 degrees. So those are the things you want to know about a triangle. By sides, it's equilateral, isosceles, and scalene. If you describe them by angle, it's acute, obtuse, and right. Got me?
Can I ask you a question too?
Yes, you can.
Like I was telling you, and I had just recently took it. They had this one called a trapezoid and a right prism. It was some type of prism that wasn't even on the formula. I was oh my God, I was panicking.
So it's funny that you say that, because I just had somebody, just young lady, she just passed it on last Wednesday or Tuesday or something, and she said the same thing. She said, Mr. Thursday, oh my God, trapezoid. First of all, everything you need is on that formula sheet almost. So let me show you. So you said it's not on your formula sheet, right? Watch this. I'm gonna show you. Where's my phone? There we go. Let me show you. So first of all, let me increase the zoom. So trapezoid hasn't been, so what that tells
Oh,
me
there
is,
you
first
go.
of
I
all,
see it.
so let me tell you, first of all, trapezoid hasn't been on the GED exam in a long time. What that also tells you is that they changed the exams. They have 3 new exams. So they rolled out the 3 new exams before the new year started.
Mm.
So they rolled out 3 new exams. This is why after the first and second failure, they make you wait, because they only have 3 exams each year. and they rotate them.
Oh.
That's why they make you wait. So there's your trapezoid right there. There's the formula for a trapezoid right there. Right? So find the
Mhm.
area, but you got to know what a trapezoid looks like. So now I'm going to show you what a
Exactly.
trapezoid looks like. Trapezoid looks like, let me get to my blank page. And I'm just drawing this freehand, so you got to apologize. I mean, I got to apologize because I'm not an artist at all, but let me see if I can make one. Right there, right. You know, my freestyle it right there.
Got it. Got it.
So I'm gonna show you something that's incredible. So remember I told you, right? Right. So we're gonna draw that line right there, right? We're gonna draw that right there, right? So if you notice, if I take this and I cut it off, and I take it and put it here, right? Let me change the blue. Watch this. This is amazing. You gotta see it. Watch this. If I put it right there, now what shape do I have?
Oh wow.
A rectangle.
A rectangle.
So let me show you what they're actually doing. Okay, let me show you what they're actually doing. So let me hit undo. Let me hit undo so you can actually see what's happening, right? Take them lines away. That's my trapezoid, right? Watch this. So if you look at the two heights, the two bases, you got one right there and you got one right there, right? Well, what they're actually doing is they're taking both of these bases and they're taking the average of both those bases. So basically, when you take an average, that means I'm increasing this by a little bit and I'm decreasing it by a little bit. So I have my rectangle. So this is why the formula is 1/2 of the base 1 plus base 2 times your height. Now, remember, a rectangle
Base
is length times width, correct?
Right.
Well, this is your length and this is your W, right? But guess what? What you got to realize is I can call this B and I can call this H. So the area of a rectangle is really base times height. Okay, well, if the area of a rectangle is base times height, watch this. I'm gonna show you something. If I draw a diagonal, now I have a triangle, correct? That's why the area of a rectangle, a triangle, is 1/2 base times height. So all you're doing, say this was 7, this was 11. My height here is 4. To find the area of this trapezoid, all you're doing is grabbing your calculator, putting 1/2 in parentheses, 7 plus 11, close your parentheses, times 4. If you know the formula and you know how to identify what the base and heights, the base 1, base 2, and the heights are, it's easy. Just throw it in your calculator. But what you have to know is the height connects the two bases. So if they don't draw this line here, what they try to do is they try to give you all the sides. So they'll put a 10 here, they'll put a 12 here, and they try to confuse you.
Right.
What you have to understand is that this is my height right here, and it's touching these two bases. That's my base 1 and base 2. So now all I do is grab this calculator, because remember I told you, I keep telling you, it's your friend. So watch this. Watch now. This problem. Let me. I need to erase this right side. Let me erase this right side first. Hold on. Watch this. Watch this. Watch how easy or much easier this problem becomes. You don't have to simplify. You don't have to take any shortcuts. One area equal 1/2 base 1 plus base 2. ND 1/2 in parentheses 7 plus 11. Close my parentheses. My height is 4. Done. 36. My area of that trapezoid is 36. Area equal 36. Now, if these are feet or inches, whatever, if it's feet, then it's feet squared. Remember, area is always squared or square feet. Always. So that's one of the also key things, square feet or feet squared. That's all it is with trapezoid. Now, what was the other one?
It was a prism.
Okay.
This is why I failed the test.
It was a triangular prism, right?
It
Watch
was
this. I'm
some
gonna,
type of prism. It looked at weird. I couldn't find. I don't. It's not even. That's what I meant to say. Wasn't on the formula sheet. It was a different name of a prism. I'm like, what?
okay.
Man, that just took my whole
Watch this.
confidence down.
No. Well, I'm
No,
great.
I'm saying while I
But
was
guess what?
taking the
Guess what?
test.
I'm going to give it right back to you right now. I want you to see something, right? So if I draw a rectangle, right? How do you find the area of a rectangle?
Length and width.
Length times width, right? Okay.
Right.
So now I'm going to draw a rectangular prism, right? How do you find the volume of a rectangular prism?
It's what's inside. I don't know. I'm just saying stuff.
Oh, okay. So does anybody know? How do you find the volume of a rectangular prism? Do you know the formula? So that's the first thing I want you to be able to do. You need to know your
I
formulas.
need to study.
Got to
the
know your
formula.
formula. And so what
Yeah.
happens is we try to remember for the moment.
Yeah.
But what happens is, and when they give you these word problems or they switch up, now you don't know. So I'm gonna give you the conceptual understanding right now. So the
Is
area.
it 1/3?
Nope.
No.
So let's go to our formula sheet. Watch this. I'm gonna tell you what it is. Length times width times height.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Right? Watch this. I'm gonna show you something. A circle. What is the area of a circle? Pi r squared.
Square.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Watch this. I'm gonna draw a cylinder. What's the volume of a cylinder? Does anybody know?
See, that's another one that messed me up too.
Pi radius square height.
Pi radius squared height. What you should notice is that the difference between the area and the volume is the third dimension, your height. So to find any volume of any prism, you take the area of the base and multiply it by the height. I don't care if it's triangular. I don't care if it's circular. I don't care if it's hexagonal. I don't care what the shape of the base is. You find the area of the base, multiply by the height. So for example, I'm gonna show you one right now. Give me a few seconds to open it up, and I'm gonna show you a triangular prism. Okay, I'm gonna show you a triangular prism, and I'm gonna show you how to solve it. Let me find my volume sheets. Hold on. My computer's acting a little slow for some reason.
Is that on the formula sheet?
Not the area of a triangular prism, but the area of a prism is on the formula sheet. Let me see the formula sheet. Let's see. Well, see, no, actually it's not.
Yeah, see, that's why I was so confused. Like, cause I was like, right prism, what is that?
Right. Right prism is just forms a right angle at the base. So what they're saying is, again, any right prism you have, what does this capital B stand for? So you look at that capital B. If you look on the lower right, remember I told you what does B stand for? The area of the base times your what?
The height.
The rectangle. Length times width times your height. Area of a circle is pi r squared times your height.
Right.
Now, I heard somebody say 1/3. When do you know to use the 1/3, right? So say my base was a rectangle, right? Hold on, let me do this right. I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna show you a nice little trick, how you can easily remember. Boom. Let me get a dot real quick. It don't matter, I could just put it right here. Put it right here. I'm gonna draw a line. You just went, so the base is a rectangle, but it's not, but it's coming to a point. So I'm gonna show you something else. Watch this, because I really need for you to understand. And this is why a lot of times adult educators have their issues, because you want to be able to explain why, not just give somebody an answer, right? So we have a cylinder here, right? So that's pi r squared h, right? So I'm gonna put a point right in the middle of that. Watch this. That's supposed to be the center, so I'm off a little bit. Watch this. Now, what did I just create? A
A
cone inside the
triangle? A
cylinder,
cone?
right?
Oh,
That's a
cone.
cone.
Yes, upside
But
down.
what
Yeah.
you should
Okay.
notice is that, watch this. This is 1/3. This is 1/3. This is 1/3. This is
Mm,
why when it comes to a point, a pyramid, a cone, you multiply it by 1/3.
Wow.
mm,
Stop playing. Learn something new every day.
mhm.
Learn something new every day. So let me find that volume page so we can see some actual examples. Volume, where are you? Volume. Here we go, right here. Volume. Again, so if you understand what volume is, you should never have a problem ever again. Area of the base, find the area of the base, whether it's a circle, a rectangle, a triangle, multiply by the height. If it comes to a point, like if all the sides come to the point, then you know you dividing it by 3 or multiplying it by 1/3.
Yeah, I was
And
just
also,
gonna say that something was asking to divide. Yeah, you're right.
because this is the same as pi r squared h divided by 3. These are the same exact
Oh,
equation.
got it. That's good. Okay, got it.
Hold on. Let me oops. I didn't mean to do that. What did I have up? I had the formula sheet up. Those two are the same exact equation. So when you're doing in the calculator, what happens is if you're using the calculator and you got to find the volume of a pyramid, or a cone, it's better just to do this. Watch this. So if this is a cylinder, right? Pi r squared h is the cylinder, right? 1/3 pi r squared h is the cone. So all you're going to do is hit ND pi 3.14, whatever the radius is, 4 squared, times the height. I'm just making these numbers up right now. Divided by 3. Now you're done. Plugging them in. So let's do an actual example. Let's do an actual example. So we can actually see it. And we're going to use the calculator.
I'm gonna have to reference this video.
Watch this.
again.
So look at that. Right there looking at it. So let me increase the zoom so we can see what you're talking about. So number 5 is a triangular prism. Right? So if you notice on number 5, they are shading the base of it that looks like a rectangle, right?
Right.
This is how you think of the base. If it doesn't come to a point, the same thing should be on the other side. So I got a circle here. I got a circle here. I got a rectangle here. I got a rectangle here. I got a triangle here. I got a triangle here. So the triangle is my base.
Right.
So now, since I know any volume is the area of the base times my height, all I'm doing is grabbing my calculator. Watch this. And literally, this is a 15-second problem. Watch this. I can't, let me try to make it bigger or something. Hold on. Let me try to make this a little bigger. There we go. And let me grab my calculator, and I'm gonna move my calculator off to the side. Let me make this a little smaller. And then I'll make it bigger afterwards. Watch this. So my base is the 3 times 4. So the area of a triangle is 1/2 the base times the height, right? So I'm gonna do ND 1/2. The base is 4. The height is 3. Times the height times 11. Done. That's my area, 66. I mean, that's my volume, 66. So my answer would be 66 feet to the 3rd power, or 66 cubic feet. Volume is always to the 3rd power or cubic. Now, so now if you want to practice, we said that was 66, right?
Right.
So now I'm gonna send you this worksheet when I send the video. Then you go check your answers. 66. That's simple.
So wait, can I ask you one more question? Okay, so the 3 feet is the height, right?
Yes.
And 4 feet is the base.
And
And 11 feet is
the height.
okay.
So makes it look weird because they laid it down. Remember, like if I drew a cylinder, right? What cylinder we use every day? An aluminum can.
Right.
But remember, the base is on both sides. That's going to be your base. This is your
Right.
height.
Right.
So we think height is how tall something is, but you can always change the
Right.
orientation of a shape.
Right.
So now let's do one more problem right here. Let's look at number 1. That's a pyramid, right? But so the
Right.
first thing that you should be remembering, you should be thinking of me in your head when you take this test. Area of the base, right?
Right.
Times the height, right? It comes
Right.
to a point, so I'm dividing by 3. Watch this.
Got it. Because I
That's
see
the base
base.
right there. So that's area of the base is 4 times 4, correct?
Mhm. Right.
The height is 12. So 16 times 12, right?
Right.
Because it comes to a point. Remember I told you, if it comes to a point, we divide them by 3.
3. Right.
So 3 going to 3 one time, 3 going to 12, 4. 4 times 10 is 40. 4 times 6 is 24. 64 inches cubed. Let's check it. Boom. That's number 1. 64. Bang. 64.
Mm.
Stop playing. Come on, Mr. Tinsley, it can't be that easy. Yes, it is. Once you have a conceptual understanding of what volume is, it's
Right.
the area of the base times the height, no matter what problem they give you. Area of the base times the height. You can do any volume problem. Oh, Mr. Tinsley,
Right.
well, what if they had something like this? What if this is 12 3/4? What if this is 4 1/2? What if this is 4 1/2? 2 things you can do. Change them to decimals. 12.75,
Mm.
4.5, 4.5. And then you grab your calculator, because we know the area of the base is 4.5 times 4.5. So find the, now we got to, whatever that is, multiply by the height, which is 12.75 divided by 3. And then you just throw it in your calculator. Don't see, this is where people have the problems, when they start throwing fractions in there.
Right.
Changing the decimals, plug them into your calculator. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what area problem they give you. Let me make this smaller. Let's see if we can find another one. Again, look at number 9. Okay, number 9. So all we doing, the area of the base, which is that rectangle. So the volume equal B times H. B for this base is length times width. So this becomes volume equal the length times width times the height. Is coming to a point at the top. So we divide by
3.
3. So my length is 13. My width is 7 of that base. My height is 14. Divide by 3. And we throw it in the calculator. Most people have problems. No, you don't have problems. This is your best friend. ND. 13 times 7 times 14 divided by 3. Change it to a decimal. 424 2/3. If you don't know 0.67 is 2/3, know your fraction decimal percent equivalence. This is 424.67 or 424 2/3. Well, say you didn't know it was 2/3. It doesn't matter, because I know how to use my calculator. Stop playing, because I went through Mr. Tinsley ebook. I know how to change the decimal fraction to percent. I know how to do it. So none of this is going to give me a problem. And then you just practice, you just work, you just work, you just work.
Yeah.
Listen, don't worry. You go through that ebook, attend my sessions, and you practice, you're going to pass the test. I don't even have a problem. If you don't pass your test, I'm going to help you till you pass your test.
Yeah, this is my second attempt. I gotta pass it.
Don't worry. All right. So,
Mr. Tinsley,
yes.
listen, back to the triangle, because I got caught, my phone died.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if two of my legs are the same with that triangle we was talking about,
Mm-hmm.
why my 5x minus 13 and 3x plus 3 is not the same?
Say that one more time.
Okay, say like, okay, my triangle A, B, and C. My
Mm-hmm.
B is 5x minus 13 and my C is 3x plus 3.
A, B,
If
and
my,
C. You said A
yes.
is 5x plus 13. B is what?
Oh, A is 0. They don't have anything for A, so A gonna be my X.
Okay, so it's the unknown.
Right. And my B
Okay.
is 5x minus 13 and my C is 3x plus 3.
3x plus 3. And what do they want you to
Yes.
do?
They want me find the angle measure.
So right here, so this is your angle A, this is your angle B, this is your angle C, and you got two equal sides here, right?
Right.
Okay, so what they're saying is B and C are the angles opposite sides your equal sides. So what that means is those angles are equal. So what you do is you say 5x minus 13 equal 3x plus 3.
I did that.
So you're going to subtract 3x from both sides. You're going to add 13 to both sides.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get 2x. The 13's cancel, equal. The 3x's cancel, equal 16. Divide both sides by 2. You get x equal 8. Then you got to plug the 8 back into the original expressions. So I got to take this 8, plug it into there. So 5 times 8 minus 13. 40 minus 13 is 27. So now, if we plug the same in here, 3 times 8 plus 3. 3 times 8 is 24, plus 3 is 27. So both of these angles are 27 degrees.
Well, you know what? I did it. I kept getting 8, but I didn't plug it back in. And I kept saying, well, what?
Because you got to understand, say if they say solve for x, x is 8. But if they ask you what the angles are, you got to plug that 8 back into your expression.
Gotcha. Yes.
Stop playing, learning something new tonight.
Yes.
How Kevin Hart say, you gonna learn today.
Yes. Because I kept getting 8. I'm like, wait a minute, and you marked the 8 wrong. And I say, well, how is this wrong? But that's why. Okay.
Gotta plug
It's
it
a
back
question,
in.
right?
Yeah. So that's very important. Identify what's given. So the first thing you should be doing now, you should be hearing me in your ear when you're taking your practice exam, when you're practicing. Read the question first. Identify what they're giving you. Identify what they want. So you know what you're looking for before you even start. A lot of times what happens is, this is what happens to the GED. Let me show you. Let me see if I can find that one I just opened. I don't know which one it is. Let me open it up. Let me see. Where are you? Where are you? Maybe it didn't open up. There we go. No matter what question they give you, you are identifying what's given, what they want to know. No matter what it is. If I'm looking at this problem here, a painter rented a wallpaper steamer at 9 a.m. That's a given. Returned it by 4. How many hours is that?
4.
7.
I mean
7 hours.
7 times 4. I'm sorry.
So 7 hours. He paid a total of 28.84.
Right.
They're asking you is the cost per hour. This is a unit rate problem. You will always have a unit rate problem. 28.84 divided by 7. So you know it's 4 something.
Yeah.
Right.
Because 28 divided by 7 is 4.
4,
The only one
12.
you see 4. I'm done.
Yeah.
Right.
32nd problem.
4. Right.
No matter what problem, identify the given, tell me what they want to know. Right here. This is a algebraic expression. They want you to evaluate it. Okay, x is 3, y is minus 6. This is my expression. If you went through my ebook, this is the easiest question. This is the easiest question on the test. Because all I'm doing is plugging it in. Let me clear it. All you doing is saying 3 store x minus 6 store y, 36x minus 8y squared. Stop playing. Done. Minus 180.
Yes.
That's not. That wasn't even 20 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So what I recommend, I'm telling you, I give you all the shortcuts. Everything you need to know is in that ebook. But take that 2 weeks to go through it. Make sure you know how to use that calculator. And what it's also going to do is it's going to give you a better conceptual understanding of what you're doing. So when you get to those word problems, they don't shake you.
Right.
Right? Because watch this. I'm going to show you something. Watch this. I'm going to show you a question. Let me save that so you'll be able to see it. Watch this. They give you a problem down here that is so crazy. Let me see if I can find it. Here you go, right here. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find it. The actual one, the GED test. See if I can find the GED test. Come on, come on. Be in my search. I know I cleared my cookies, but be in my search, please, so I can find it. Be in my search. There we go, right there. Watch this. I'm gonna show you something. This is the actual GED. Again, from GED.com. You can practice. I printed it as a PDF, but this is the actual. You can actually practice with this. Watch this. I'm gonna show you this problem. And what happens is people get shook by so much information. So let's look at this problem right here. Look at this problem. It
Please,
says,
can we go over this problem? Because
Oh,
my
yes.
teacher in my other class, she can't explain it and she just keeps on skipping through it, keeps on skipping through it. I would like to understand this.
okay,
Not skip
well,
through it. I want to understand it.
okay, well, you're going to understand it. That's right. If you listen, I'm telling you, I'm worth the price of admission. I'm going to have you pass that test. All right, so let's look at this. First of all, read the question first. The scientist plots the data for tree 2 on a coordinate grid. So first of all, you identifying what's given. Tree 2. They gave me information about tree 1 and tree 2. I'm only looking at tree 2. Plot on the coordinate grid. That means I need an X and a Y. What are the locations of the 2 points on the coordinate grid? This is my X, this is my Y. So all you're doing is going to this graph and saying X is 1, Y is 11.4. Bam. The next point, oops, I'm sorry. Hold on. No, I'm not. See, I didn't read the whole thing. I'm rushing. See what happens when you rush? They want year 3 and year 11. So they want this point and this point. So 3 and 12, bam, first point. 11 and 14.4. Boom, done. Easy problem. That's an easy problem. But they gave you all this information and all this paragraph. I know it's a 2-question problem.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
What I'm saying is, so that was considered a medium difficult, a difficulty of medium. This is considered hard. So now, let's read the question. The scientist creates an equation that models a data for each tree so she can predict the diameter in the future. Complete a linear equation that fits the data for tree 1, where X is the year and Y is the trunk. So identify what you know. Again, we're identifying what we know. This is my X, this is my Y. How many points do I need to find the slope?
2.
2. I don't care what 2 you use, right? Now, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you how you do this manually so you can understand it. And then I'm going to show you how to use the calculator and finish this problem in 15 seconds. So when you want an equation of a line, it said, they wanted to, where is it? Equation line, where is it? What does it say? They're creating an equation. Y equal mx plus b. So my m is my slope. My b is my y-intercept. How do you find the slope between 2 points? Very easy. Change in y over the change in x, right? So m equal 19.2 minus 18.6 divided by 3 minus 1. So you get 0.6 divided by 2. If you put that in your calculator, the slope is 0.3. So you already know your equation is going to be y equal 0.3x plus something. We don't know what that something is, right? But I've already told you how to do this by hand. If you have a point and a slope, you can figure out the equation of the line. So we have the slope. We just found out what the slope is. The slope is 0.3. We have a point, 1 and 18.6. I don't like decimals, so I'm going to use this point. I want to use whole numbers. I'm going to stay away from the 18.6s and all that. Or I could choose 1 and 18.6. It doesn't matter. So watch this. So I'm going to show you twice. I'm going to show you it doesn't matter. Y equal mx plus b. So I'm going to use 1 and 18.6 first. Okay, so I'm going to use 1 and 18.6 first. My y is 18.6. My m is 0.3. My slope is 0.3. My x is 1 plus b. So I'm going to move over here. 18.6 equal 0.3 plus b. In order to get b by itself, I need to get rid of 0.3. So I need the minus 0.3. The opposite of plus 0.3 is minus 0.3. Whatever I do on one side, I do on the other. Minus 0.3. When you're subtracting decimals, you have to line up the decimal and you subtract. So I get 18.3 is equal to b. I know my slope is 0.3. I now my y-intercept is 18.3. Look at that. Done. That's your equation of line. That's how you do it. So Amani, if you want to know how to do this because your teacher ain't know how to do it, now you know how to do it. If they ask for the equation of line, you need two things. You need slope and you need the y-intercept. Now, I'm going to even make it easier for you. This problem is the easiest problem on the exam if you bought my ebook or you come to my class. This is no longer a difficult problem. And I'm going to show you how right now in less than 30 seconds. Now, I'm going to set my timer. Let me clear everything because I want to show you that's going to take less than 30 seconds. That problem that just took us 5 minutes, less than 30 seconds. Let me reset I'm going to reset the whole calculator. Hold on. I'm going to reset the whole calculator because I need you to really see how easy this problem is. As you, if you go through the ebook and understand all the shortcuts I've given you using the calculator. Watch this. Data. My x's 1 enter 3 enter. My y's 18.6 enter 19.2 enter. Second data 2 variable calculate. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There's my slope. There's my y-intercept right there. It's my slope. That's my y-intercept. Y equal 0.3x plus 18.3. Done. 30 seconds.
Wow.
Stop playing.
I gotta get this data one down because yeah, I gotta get that one.
So again, so in the ebook, I got a bunch of practice so you will be able to do every problem. If they ask you the equation of a parallel line, if they ask you the equation of a perpendicular line, if they ask you the equation from 2 points, if they ask you an equation from a table, you can plug them into the calculator in less than 30 seconds and be done. You saw how long it took me to do that problem, man, and I'm the instructor. So if it took me 3 to 4 minutes or 5 minutes, how long is this problem going to take you?
Oh, trust me, I was fumbling with this during the test. That was just a disaster.
Yeah. So
I didn't know how
again,
to work. I didn't know how to do like that one. I the night before I was trying to learn how to do the slope of a line. I didn't get it. I didn't get it was another one. No. Oh my God. The ABC, what is it called? It's inside of the square root. Oh my God, what's the proper name for it?
So that's another thing.
The quadratic. I couldn't get that one either.
Okay, so what you can do is go to my YouTube channel, look at my last 2 GED Math Mondays. We did all the quadratic equations, every single way you know how to do them.
Oh, okay. The standard and the other way. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my email in the comments. Can you please send me your YouTube page?
Okay. Well, and every email is at the bottom of my email.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All my social media is at the bottom. So I would appreciate if everybody follow me. You know what I mean? Subscribe to my YouTube channel. listen, I'm telling you, listen. You're
I've
not gonna
been
find,
subscribed.
you're not gonna find too many people that can show you how to do this exam, especially using this
Right.
calculator. And most classes, they don't even show you how to use this calculator at all.
Right.
Listen,
Right.
are you ever gonna do a problem like this in real life? What I need to, you know what I mean? Learn how to use. Listen, you're probably never going to use a quadratic equation. Has anybody ever used a quadratic equation in their real life? Anybody?
My
Mhm.
T5.
No, I know I
Unless
haven't. I know I
unless
haven't.
you're
I
a
mean,
physics major or computer science major or math major in college, probably not. But
right.
again, my point is, again, these questions, no matter how hard they look, read the question first, identify what's given, identify what they need to know, and you go from there.
Right.
Because you can almost always eliminate a question. I mean, some of the multiple choice, even if you don't know. So believe it or not, it's already 10 after 7.
Oh, okay.
Time then flew.
Sorry.
Listen,
I
no,
was
you don't have
asking
to
so many
apologize.
questions.
It's
Sorry.
listen, I think we got 18 people tonight. I think that's the most. Usually I get about 8, 9, 10, sometimes 12, 14. But we got 18 people. So listen, what I want you to understand is once we go over a lesson, once we go over something, now what I want you to do, let me open up Schoology real quick.
Yeah, I had an issue getting in Schoology. Let me ask my son, because you getting this. I need to get in Schoology too. Wait, I had an issue trying to get in.
After we go over a lesson, you go to Schoology and you practice. You practice to make sure you know how to do it. So for example, I'm gonna show you again, I'm gonna show you the 2 ways you can, once you get into school, you're gonna go to courses. And of course, you're only gonna see one course. You say I got about 15 of them, but in yours, you should only see one. You can either under math lessons or practice tests and additional practice problems. If you go into math lessons, you go to volume and surface area. Let's
Yes.
find it right there. Again, there's a pretest to see if you know how much you know already. If you score 80 or above, keep it moving. If you don't, here's a textbook lesson to show you how to do anything. So one of the things they have on exam now is they'll give you the volume and they're asking for the height. So this is why I got find the dimensions of cylinders, find dimensions of cones, find the dimensions of spheres, here the volume of all the regular. So you should be able to go through all of these, all the volumes, and be able to score 80 or above. That's up to you. That's not up to me. That's you practicing.
Right.
Right? Now, not only do I have it in math lessons, if you think you've already got it and you're ready, then you can go to practice tests and additional practice problems. And almost every concept area is here. Area and perimeter, scientific notation, probabilities, exponents, square roots. And I don't have volume under here. Stop playing. Oh, I don't have everything. I only got area and perimeter. That means I got something to work on. Wow. Just found something. Ooh, interesting. So the only place you can find volume is under the math lessons. So I will be making up an additional practice test, but you can go into math lessons and do all the volume problems, all the surface area problems. Because why? What you should be learning to do is no matter what they give you, you should be able to go to your formula sheet, get that formula, plug it in, or use the multiple choice to get your answer.
Right.
Okay. Any other questions before we leave tonight? Remember, if you are new, make sure you put your email in the chat. Let me check to make sure I have new. So Sheila, I have your email. Erica, I have your email. And it's that
I'm
let me
coming
increase
now.
the zoom.
Let me put
Let me
mine in
see.
the email.
Is it Indra or Indra? I do have your email also. And is that Shemaine? And Bernadette, I have yours.
Okay.
Okay. So say that again.
No, I didn't say anything. I said okay.
So listen. I'm committed to helping you. So if you have an exam scheduled before the new year. If you have an exam scheduled before the new year, and if you purchase the ebook, you get a free one-on-one session with me to help you pass before you take your exam.
Okay, because mine on the 22nd. I got to get this before the new year come in.
So before the 22nd, make sure you schedule a one-on-one with me.
Okay.
So we can go over specifically what you need to pass your exam.
Okay.
All right.
And you say go on Schoology and take the pre-test.
Right. You can take all the pre-tests. I mean, you can. It's up to you. You like what I would recommend you do is using your practice exam or your last exam. Whatever
Right.
subject areas that you got wrong, I would start with those first.
Yeah, geometry.
Then when you have those down, I have specific practice exams that you can take.
Right.
So
and in the questions, the
in Schoology. In
right.
Schoology, so the feedback is going to give you answers after you get it wrong.
Okay.
Similar to actual tests or like the real test. It's 2 hours, it's time. You can flag a question for review. You can use your calculator.
Okay, cool.
So I got about 10, well, actually, that's more than 10. I don't know what kind of counting I was doing. Maybe that's 10. Yeah, about 10 practice tests. So most people, they get through the first 3. If you score 60 or above, schedule your one-on-one with me. Let's go take this exam and get done.
Okay, cool. Got it.
Erica,
So I see word problems too. Yes, I need to definitely practice those.
Erica, I just sent you an email earlier about how to access Schoology. Do you see it?
I'm eating all the chips.
I'm checking out.
Okay.
I just downloaded Schoology and I was gonna ask you how to sign up.
Okay, I'll send you an email.
Okay.
And you
Yes,
said you
Mr.
put your email
Timberlake.
in the chat, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Okay.
It's
good.
asking me for an access code for Schoology.
Right. It's right in the email.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Again, let me, if you have any questions, this is my, if you need, let me not put it on the email. Let me stop the recording. Hold on for 1 second.